Thank you. Good evening. Just on the potential pollution on the site, obviously we're aware that the area was reclaimed back in the 1980s when there were different controls around materials that were deposited on the site. There's now a very careful separation of contaminated materials that are now put into specifically lined pits down at La Collette. What we have undertaken, and one of or two of our planning conditions specifically cover this item, is in relation to the assessment of potential contamination on the site, and also looking at the hydrogeological effects of the development. So we've employed a UK PLC called Waterman Group, who have carried out full environmental assessments on the site, and have directed certain geotechnical companies to carry out detailed investigations into the ground to fully assess whether there are contaminants there and at what level. And if we put this into context, when the Victoria and Albert Pier housing scheme was developed, the level of contamination on that site was about 23%. That doesn't prevent the development from taking place. It just means that on the construction environment management plans, in order to protect both the personnel working on the site and obviously the public, there are specific mitigation measures that are introduced. On our assessments on the first site, on building number 4, it's come in at less than 4%. So all of those have come back quite positively, given the concerns around the site. I think the other side on the water levels, and you mentioned about the seawater pollution. The ground levels on the site, the water table there is at 5 metres, and the lowest point for our basement slabs is at 4 metres. So we're going to be above the water table. There will be obviously pile caps that will go below that, but those will be specifically, there will be a methodology agreed and designed to deal with dewatering on the site itself. So I think, I'd hope that you can take assurances from the fact that we have carried out a complete detailed assessment of the ground, and we are ensuring that the works are carried out in order to minimise any potential risk at all.
Will those data be available for public scrutiny?
I believe every submission that we make is, I believe, publicly available. So I think there's a timing point as to when that becomes available. But we'd be happy to share those with you. And I think we've had a meeting with Michael and Dave from Save Our Shoreline and Lara. So we've said that we're happy to share those statistics and data with you.